I do not support corruption. Corruption takes money away from children's education.
Loyal viewers and subscribers, give thanks for life, give thanks for your continued support. Today on the Avenue, let us look at Senator Scott-Mottley contribution in the Senate as a table a bill pertaining to large investment, my people. And in this one, you will hear she give a few points of clarity, and you will hear she give credence where credence is due, and so on and so forth, my people. So let's get into it and hear what she got to say. And in the meantime, my people, leave your thoughts and views in the comment section below and let us have that discussion. And if you are new here, forward to the Avenue. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to the channel. So let's get into it and hear what she got to say, my people.
Mr. President, I had hoped to be in the same position as the leader of opposition business over here, and simply to endorse a piece of legislation that we all welcome, and a piece of legislation which I think will endure to the benefit of the country. But as I listened to the minister, I thought it was important that I remind him that you all have been in government for the last 10 years, and that of the last 18 years, you have sat in that space for 14 years. And this particular matter, we know that the investor, which the Prime Minister will take the opportunity of announcing shortly, has been waiting for a decade for you to get this right. So let us put it in context. Let us always also put in context that the foreign direct investment net inflows has fallen under your administration. When you left office in 2011, foreign direct investments were 1.2% of GDP. When we left in 2015, it was 6.6% of GDP. And according to the latest World Bank figures, which go to 2023, it is now 1.9% of GDP. So yes, you can advance your explanations, but it need not have gotten here where we needed to do these comparisons. Because indeed, this opposition understands the significance of this piece of legislation. But there are matters which are critical for it to work well. No one can scoff at $1 billion worth. No one can scoff. Let me use, my son tells me I speak like a Victorian novel. No one can snicker, take objection to an investment of $1 billion. But I think we have to understand that in order for us to really reap this kind of success, our infrastructure has to also work. I remember when Prime Minister Bruce Golding had promised us that we would be able to get approvals within 90 days. Approvals for developments, regrettably, take an average of 18 months to 2 years. That is not progress. Those things, Minister Hill, are matters that persons who want to invest in Jamaica are going to scrutinize very carefully. They're going to scrutinize not just that, but the policies which go around it. And I will tell you that you need to also look at what is happening under your leadership, like the Tax Administration Department, the long delays which now ensue with getting your agreements out of that office. I gather because of just simply not enough human resources. But if you want to stimulate investment, those things need to be addressed. And, of course, since I was the chairman of the National Advisory Board when the expedition was put in place at the National Land Agency, I take credit for that. But I also want to say that the usual process has slowed down considerably. And if when you're building a structure, you don't start with just the top. You have to make sure that the foundational aspects of it are really intact and that they are addressed carefully. So I am really welcoming this. I have an issue that I want you to address when you respond to me. As I see you taking copious notes, although not copious things have been said. So, so in relation to the pioneer industry, I just want you to, it says that it has to be consistent with the strategic priorities of the government of Jamaica. It's not being carried out in Jamaica on a substantial commercial basis, and that it involves or is intended to involve the commercial application of the results of scientific research. But this one, I'm sorry, 4, like A, B, C, D.
Okay.
But what gave me some kind of pause, and I wouldn't mind you giving me some examples, is that their clause 4C, which says that for which there are favorable prospects of it being developed so as to have a positive transformational impact on the economy of Jamaica. And I wanted to understand exactly what you viewed as transformational. Because 4C. Because when you're talking about a transformational impact, again, I go back to the point where the complaints have been that our workforce is not sufficiently educated. And at one point, Minister, there was even the suggestion that we would have to import labor, to import skilled persons to work in Jamaica. So when you talk about the transformational impact, exactly where are you expecting to see the transformation? What areas are you looking to? It's a very important guideline. And therefore, those persons who are listening to us now and those persons who have an interest in investing in Jamaica need to be clear as to what is expected of them. Minister, I'm glad that you came back into the room because clearly you have to play a role in terms of preparing the country. Well, hopefully not for much longer. But you know, we will cooperate with each other, of course. So the preparation has to involve upskilling people. And not only that, but almost a kind of Jamal type of revolution with persons who are already in the workforce to make them understand better the use that they can make of technology to assist them in contributing differently to this economy. That to me is where a lot of what are the things that we intend to achieve, our expectations will be realized when we equip the participants. You see, a lot of people look at our economy and they see dollars. They see $1 billion US, $2 billion US. When I look at our economy, I see people. I see the role that people must play in advancing it. And sometimes I wonder why psychologists don't play a large role in even assembling our budget and allocating our resources. Because only psychologists, Senator Longmore, understand how people will respond to budgetary allocations and what it is that people really desire to have in their lives. So I hope I don't have to speak long to say what I need to say. So I am happy to hear, Minister Hill, that the regulations are in place. I look forward to the announcement. We have all looked forward to that announcement. That particular investor has been waiting for a long time. All of the 10 years that you have been in government and you have sat on this one. Sometimes it's a good thing when elections are near, because all the things that have been put in 513 can be taken out and dusted off and put on the table. So President, you know I would never be unkind to Senator Hill, and certainly not wicked.
Certainly not to Harvey.
Obviously. So the opposition does support it, does support this legislation, Minister Hill, and we look forward to it being the appointed day, as you have referenced in the legislation, being very close by, if it pleases you, Mr. President.
As you can hear, my people, that's all for now. What is your thoughts and views on all of this? Leave them in the comment section and let us have that discussion. If you're new here, forward to the avenue. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to the channel and watch the videos. Thank you very much. Catch you in the next one. I'm out for now.